All right, what's going on, everybody? Getting ready to go on a ruck march today, and so I figured I'd use the opportunity to teach you how to get better at ruck marching and some of the do's and don'ts, and some of the things that I do and that I've done and learned over the years to become a better ruck marcher and be able to put up with a whole bunch of weight on my back for a longer period of time. All right, so first of all, let's talk about the snacks that you should be bringing with you, or at least pre-gaming with before you go out on your long ruck. So if you're gonna do anything over than like 6 miles and you're not like a super experienced rucker, or you're really trying to get better, you definitely wanna have some snacks with you. I like to use these. They're called Stroop waffles. There you go. And these are basically like those honey, what are they called? The honey stingers. They're like the exact same thing, except these are not $1 plus a piece. These are like $3 for a whole pack. So it's the exact same thing. You just get a whole pack of them. And I think some guy just found these one day and was like, oh man, I'm gonna make that into my own thing and call it a honey stinger and make a whole bunch of money off it. So go get those, and those are really good. Or you could just get some Skittles, banana, something you can, stick in your pocket real easy and get down while you're on the move easily. All right, so next we'll talk about boots, right? How boots are super important. So, like I'm always preaching, whatever you're training for, you always need to use the same pair of boots. Excuse the mess in my garage. Let's see. So I use the Garma NFSs. Oh, okay. So I was going to show you the difference between my work boots and my regular boots. My work boots are packed up right now, so I'm not going to do that. But these are the Garma NFSs, and I've had these for, years. You can even see like sweat marks and, blister marks and all that. And even the underside, like obviously I probably should replace these. I'm just cheap and I wait till the last second. I wouldn't recommend running and doing your ruck marches with heels that look like that, because it could throw off your balance and it can cause knee problems or ankle problems. But I just, don't always do what I tell you to do. I make sure that I'm being careful. And if you're going to be off-roading, doing rucks on trails and stuff like that, then like having boots with this kind of wear and tear is not going to be a huge issue for you. All right, so don't be wasting your money either. Wear them till they're completely gone, and then either replace them or get the soles redone. There we go. All right, okay. I like my GoPro, but I think the one bad thing about it is that I can't see myself filming. There's probably something I can get to do that. Oh, and another thing. In here I have these insoles. They're called Easy Feet insoles, and they're like kind of like a cheaper version. But I have somewhat flat feet, and I tend to underpronate. I can't remember the word for it right now, but my feet tend to go outwards like this when I walk and run. So I get these insoles to help me with that. If you have any feet issues whatsoever, most people have some sort of foot problem. They just don't realize it. Invest in a good pair of insoles, stick them in your boots, make sure they fit in there good and they're not sliding around all over the place, and train with those all the time too. Wear them all the time, wear them to work, put them in your regular shoes, get multiple pairs, but that'll help you in the long run too, especially not just with your feet, but with ankle problems, knee problems, sciatic. If your like lower back is hurting, often it's because of something you're doing wrong at a distal region like your foot. All right, and I like to tuck my laces because I'm an old school soldier like that, and I slide my socks down like that. So your boots should be not tight but not loose. They should be as close to just right as possible. And remember, if they're a little loose when you first put them on, that's a good thing, because the longer you ruck, the more swollen your feet are going to get. And that's why sometimes at the end of your ruck, you get like these blisters on the side of your feet, or they might just feel tighter as you wear them and as you ruck. That's because your feet are just getting swollen from all the pressure you're putting on them. So if you're going to go a little, maybe a half size bigger, that should be okay. Also, make sure you're using socks that are really good. So I use nice thick socks. These are the Fox River fatigue fighters, I think they are, but they're the only ones that they make. They're a little thick and they go all the way up past the calf, right? So I always use these. I train with those. That's another thing. You want to use the same socks you train with. It's the same concept with boots. Use the same socks. Don't show up to like, you know, Ranger School, for example, with brand new socks. You want to have broken in socks, okay? They don't need to be having holes and stuff like that. They should still have some life on them, but definitely should be broken in along with your boots. And now this is the boot combo that I always wear for rucks or anything that I know I'm going to be wearing boots for a long time. I wear my Garma NFSs and I wear my Fox River Fatigue Fighter socks. And this is it. This is me. This is now what I do for the rest of my life, okay? I live by that, and I definitely think you guys need to figure whatever combo works for you, figure it out and stick to it. All right, so now I'll talk about how you should be packing your ruck. All right, now when we're talking about packing our ruck, try to get in the habit. I know you'll see even I do it. I wear my ILS pack or some other sort of ruck to go and do ruck marches. But if you're training up for something specific, or if you're just trying to get better at Army ruck marching, use your Army issued rucksack, okay? Because it's that's just what you need to be doing to form the rucksack to your body. Make sure it's got the right fit, because you're going to be constantly adjusting it as you train and get better. Make sure you're using the ruck that you're going to actually be tested on or using during a school or in your Army career. Now, I'm going to do a quick demonstration. It's going to be super quick, all right? Don't judge me or nothing here too hard, but listen to what I say, because some of the things that I bring up are absolutely going to be critical for packing the ruck and doing it properly. Again, don't judge my garage too harshly, okay? I'm just a guy. All right, sweet. Okay, here we go. So, when you're packing your ruck, right? The first thing, as far as weight is concerned and how you want to distribute the weight, you're going to want to put the lighter things at the bottom, all the things that are going to pack the easiest at the bottom, and the heavier items at the top. All right? Once you get a little more advanced, you can kind of play around with that. When you get to Ranger School, you're going to want to put like your items, regardless of weight, on the top that you're going to need real quick. But for now, for training purposes and getting to know how you should be packing your ruck, always the lightest things, the more packable, squeezable things in there need to go on the bottom. I just use my, and always use your Army gear if you can, because just you need to get in the habit of actually packing what you're going to be packing when it comes down to game day, right? So I have my sleep system here. I always just keep it undone. I don't cinch it all up like a lot of people do, because I think you can't maximize the packability of it. Plus, like, when was the last time you slept with your whole sleep system? I mean, I've definitely done it, don't get me wrong. It gets cold enough. I'm not saying I've never been there, but like, typically you'll just use one of these, if anything. And I know you infantry guys out there are already thinking, why the hell does he have his sleeping bag? What is this pogue doing? Yeah, I got it. But most schools you go to, you're gonna have your sleeping bag, whether you use it or not, you're gonna have to pack it, right? So just get used to doing it. Put it all the way at the bottom. Have all the pieces. I still have the cinch bag, because if you go and do a layout, you're gonna have to have it, right? So it's still in there. Got the shell, the wet weather shell. I got the old school one, yeah. I mean, I still pull that thing out, like, when I'm at training events and stuff. People are like, oh my God, you got a BDU sleeping bag? How old are you? I'm like, I don't know, man, I'm pretty fucking old. All right, I got my weather bag. Don't worry about like how the gear is going to be used, because we don't know what we're training for exactly. We're just training for weight distribution at this point. Got my whoopee. I guess the ACU pattern's turning into a classic pattern too now. You got your younger guys watching this are probably like, ACU? That was like 5 years ago. God. And then got your poncho here. See, I'm just packing everything in here. I'm trying to fill in all the gaps, get rid of all the extra little air bubbles, and filling her out real good like, right? All right. So I didn't go ahead and I didn't get like a whole bunch of my other Army gear out for you guys, but just know like you should be putting your gloves in here, like anything that's in a aerosol packing list, you know, your regular field pack, unless you got your gloves, you got your goggles, you got your freaking your flick, you know, all that stuff. Make sure that goes in here as well. And then what I like to use for weight is MREs. And I've collected a whole bunch of these over the years. I'm sure some of you guys have too. But they're really good for practicing with ruck marching because they're just like little weights that you can kind of stick around all over on top of your ruck march or your rucksack. And it works pretty good. I mean, I think one of these is like at least a pound, maybe a pound and a half, can't remember. And that's why sometimes like in ranger school, your ruck gets so heavy because you'll leave for like mountains with like 10 of these in your rucksack, okay? Same thing with like selection, same thing will happen. So get used to packing MREs. I'm gonna put a whole bunch in here. Oh shit. Cheese tortellini and chicken pesto pasta. Those are some good MREs. Whew, this one's heavy. This is like 2.5 pounds or something. Put some in your side pouches. And you're really looking for equal weight distribution, right? So everything should be equalized. And then everything should be closest to the backs, to your back as it lays on you when you put the rucksack on. Don't forget to add your helmet in there because a lot of times you'll have this with you for field problems. This is one of those items that just gets really annoying to pack in your rucksack. And you also have to like take it out, put it in. Oh, that's what she said. You have to take it out, put it in real quick. And it's just something to get used to packing. So bring your helmet. Try to form it around things and try to equalize the weight. I like to put it dead center just like that. Just like that, just right in there, all right? And you can take a couple more of these MREs. Make sure the helmet's in there good, nice and snug. It's not going anywhere when you're running around with your ruck. And then use the cinch. Right? And then another thing you can do, I should have done this to show you, but I'm not going to go back. So let's just say that this is my poncho. Stick the poncho on last. And that can be a way to wet weather your rucksack. Because you got to think, or at least, you know, in the rain and stuff. Because you got to think, the rain's going to be falling from the sky, right? You're going to be carrying this thing like this. And every time you set it down, it's usually going to be, the top is going to be up. So as long as you have something on top protecting everything, it should keep everything pretty dry. All right, you cinch it all up real good. Pack as much as you can. I like to put my knee on it. Mine's already pretty tight. Sometimes you got to do that to get it even tighter. And then you do the same thing with the next cinch. See, I put my knee on it and helps you balance it and get it even tighter. And there you go. The last thing you're going to do, always bring your camelback, even when you're just training on your own. Don't bring water bottles and shit like you see a lot of people do. You're not going to have that at training, so don't do that. Bring your camelback. Set it on top. When you go and do training, like especially ranger school, this is the standard how they'll do it. Selection, this is how they'll do it. Most places you go to, if you're training for a ruck march standard, this is how they're going to want to see it done. So train it like that. Plus, it's the easiest way. I always do it like this. Then you can get it in and out. You can take it out, refill it. Make sure it's completely full. And then you always want to have your ruck completely cinched up. As tight as you can possibly get it. So you end up using your knee a lot just to get that leverage on there. Try to get in the habit of doing that. There you go, see? See how nice and tight that'll get? Yeah, there we go. And then tuck away your goddamn straps. Don't be running around like, you know, fucking octopus rock out there. Especially you infantry guys, you need to fix your shit. You don't want any stragglers. Tuck away your straps, make it all nice and pretty. Good to go. All right. Make sure you get your side pouches. See, I even like to go like that. I don't like loose straps. So you get caught on things, especially if you're out in the woods, get caught on shit, it just makes your life harder anyway. So get used to tucking away your straps. At least do what I'm doing. I'm pretty lazy with some things. Like if it works, right? So as long as you do that, keep the straps nice and tight, you're good to go. All right. Leave the nozzle for your camelback exposed and hanging, so you can easily get to it, or you can strap it down to your chest strap if you need to, whatever you prefer. And then I would definitely suggest switching out the Army issue nozzle with one of these camelback ones that switches like this, because it's just a lot easier to use. Don't even bother with a cap. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've like stepped on this or got it real dirty, and it's no big deal, dude. You're a soldier, right? You know, just spit out the shit. It's clean. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about it. All right, so now you're good to go. Oh, you know what? Still gotta get my keys. Yeah. One can only hope that these angles are coming in right. I think they are. There. Hopefully that's good for you guys. All right, and I like to. So we're out here on Fort Bragg. Found a nice trail out in the woods with minimal people. I think there's a lot of cars out here, but I think they're out there for the motor pool. All right, I like to wear headphones when I ruck. I think it was David Goggins that said you shouldn't wear headphones while you're working out or something to make you more hard or some shit. Like, I'm sorry, David Goggins, I love you, man, but like, I think that's kind of silly. Definitely wear headphones if you appreciate some good music while you're out there rucking or running for long distance. And another thing you can do is choose music that helps you with your tempo. So if you're trying to like go faster, you're trying to trot it out, you know, do something more than just a regular walk, then listen to like some Slipknot or some shit, or some NFX or something like that. That's what I like. I like to listen to NFX. You know, and if you're trying to take it a little easier, then, you know, maybe listen to some like Imagine Dragons or whatever the fuck you like. But just listen to something that has a tempo that's going to make you go to move towards that tempo. And that's a way that you can use music to actually increase your ability. All right, so I think David Goggins got it wrong on that one. All right, and then another thing you can do to use technology to your advantage is track your mileage using something like Strava. That's what I always use. I think you use like Map My Run, stuff like that, but open up Strava. Looks like that. You just hit record, and all you gotta do is hit start, and it will track how fast you're going, your pace, your distance, all that. You just set it and forget it, and you'll figure out how well you did at the end. You can also use one of these Garmin watches if you want to like be checking your pace constantly. If you're trying to dial it down a little fast or a little more precise, you can set your Garmin watch up so that it's just tracking you constantly, and it will track your pace as you're moving. You can just look at your watch real quick to make sure you're staying on pace, like if you're trying to increase your pace or something like that. But I just like to use the Strava. I always have my phone on me. I locked my shit up. I don't know about these soldiers around here. No, I don't think you gotta worry about locking your car up on post, to be honest, but you never know.